Welcome back to Boy Band Break, where we encourage you to take a break from your day and join your favorite podcasters talking about your favorite topic, boy bands. As always, my name is Diane.
I'm Chinzia.
I'm Sophia.
And I'm Lydia. Hashtag Mama Lou. I mean, AKA Mama Lou. Yeah.
Well, hashtag too. That's
sure,
fine.
why not? We'll just... Okay. Sophia, do you have any birthdays this week?
Next week.
Today.
Sorry, next week. We have...
Not next week either.
This week.
Sorry,
Wednesday?
this Wednesday on the 20th.
Yes.
Mhm.
February 20th is Brian Littrell's birthday from the Backstreet Boys. He will be 44 years old.
Woo!
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, B-Rock.
Happy birthday.
Yeah. So we actually ran a few contests on our Facebook page. So if you want to win prizes, be sure to go to @BoyBandBreak and check us out and like us. So one prize we actually gave away, the contest ended January 24th, so we're a little late in announcing the winner to that. But congratulations to Heather and Jason Petty from Florida. You have won the Danny Wood doll.
Woohoo!
Woo, yeah! Congrats. And then also last week, a couple weeks ago, I was on Sam Cooke's podcast, Sam Cooke Online, and I was giving away a 3-pack of prizes, which included NSYNC Valentine's Day cards,
Woo.
New Kids on the Block school set, and then a book that had when Brian and Kevin from the Backstreet Boys were inducted into the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame.
Woo.
So congratulations to Diana March.
Woo!
So I'll be sending messages to both of you to get your addresses, and we'll ship those out.
Congrats, everybody.
Congrats.
Yay.
Woo.
Thanks for listening.
And if you haven't yet, make sure to go check out Chinzia on Sam Cooke Live. We've posted the link on all of our socials, or you can check out Sam's socials at Sam Cooke Live. We're off our regular schedule. Normally we do recapping of things at the beginning of the month, but we're all messed up. You know, DNA came out and it just threw us all off. So, not really much to catch up on, but we did want to quickly mention, Backstreet Boys did not win a Grammy.
Boo.
Boo, Lady Gaga, you suck.
She's rocking up
Well,
those
You don't suck, but you know.
awards.
No, like honestly, if they were going to lose to anybody, obviously that one would probably be a good one. Or
Fine.
Maren Morris the middle. Apparently Justin Timberlake was also nominated, but he,
Whatever.
yeah, not happening,
Cares about
dude.
him.
So anyways, yay, and them and their wives looked fantastic, and they had lots
Everybody
of
looked
pictures
very
up. They
amazing.
looked amazing. So congrats,
Yes, they
boys.
did.
Next year, the DNA album might
I
be
was
up
gonna
for a
say,
Grammy.
Yes.
I couldn't figure it out. Do we hate the Grammys again? Like, are we back to hating the Grammys after like the whole Millennium snub thing?
I feel like we're back to hating them.
Yeah.
Or are we like
I
holding
feel
out for
like-
next year because we're like DNA
I feel-
2020?
How about we hate them until next year? Until
Yes,
nomination.
that's right.
And then we'll like them again. We'll be
Yes.
Like, oh. And
I
then
like Lydia's idea.
We'll hate them again with the Backstreet Boys. We'll be like, no.
Whatever.
Yes.
Drake had a really good speech about it. Really doesn't matter
When you got
if
cut
you.
off.
Yes, but it doesn't really matter if you win the Grammy or not. The fact that you have people coming out and coming to your concerts and following you around and all that jazz. So, which
Yes.
obviously
Drake.
the boys.
Drake was very, yes.
Go Canada! What?
Good job.
Drizzy.
Drizzy.
Drizzle is like it's raining.
It's
That could be
raining
like his
Drake.
second name. His second name.
I thought Drizzle because like maybe we drizzle maple syrup on stuff, and he's
Maybe,
Canadian. So
maybe.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, there you
Okay.
go.
There you
Hmm.
go. Hashtag Mama Lou.
Yeah. Woo.
All right. So I decided we don't really have any major holidays coming up. We don't really have any concerts or anything to go to. Unfortunately,
Booers.
we did not interview Fourth Avenue.
We didn't even bother to go to the Fourth Ave concert. It
Very
was
bad
cold.
weather. It was not conducive to Mama Lou's concert experience.
And that was very confusing because I actually looked it up and it used to be like a Portuguese chicken restaurant, and I don't
Plus
know
the
if we-
Grammys are on. We had to see if Backstreet
Right,
Boys won.
that's right, so.
Yeah, sorry.
and whatever Fourth Ave, way to not answer your DMs. Whatevs.
Yeah, ow, snub. We got snubbed, and Backstreet Boys got snubbed.
And
Double snubbed. That
yeah,
day.
we kind of maybe said on our socials that we were gonna possibly go to Nashville this weekend. We're not doing that either. So
Way to bring it up, Muddy.
sorry,
That's
sorry.
So
Who's in
disappointed.
Nashville?
O-Town. And they're doing a games night, or they will have done a games night yesterday with fans. And I was not there.
You want to play Clue
Is
with
Chinzia
Jacob? Like,
crying?
what are you doing?
Yeah, that would be fun.
It
Come
would be
on.
amazing. Board
It would be
games.
fun.
I
It would
love
be fun.
board games.
All right.
Maybe charades. Who knows?
Well,
They're just fun people, and we are not there, and we're stuck here in the cold. Nothing to look forward to.
Except for the topic for today's podcast.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo!
Actually, it's a topic for the next couple of weeks.
Ooh.
So I decided we should go on a journey of discussing boy band solo careers.
Ah.
So before we jump into individual solo careers, do you think the concept of breaking away from your boy band and doing your own thing on the side is a good thing or a bad thing? Because it could work out. Like Backstreet Boys, all of the members have gone off and done their own thing, and then they always come back together. But for NSYNC, it didn't really work out that well. So what do you think?
Well,
If you're Justin Timberlaking, then it's a bad thing. But if
it's like who are we talking for? Like it's
For
good,
anyone.
It's good for the individual, but it's bad for the band.
Like,
it's good for the fans. It's bad for the business. It's like it's very
I don't know. I think it really
odd.
depends, though. Because if it's like a Justin Timberlake or a Zayn and whatever, they leave and they break up their bands, that's horrible. But if it's a thing where, let's say, Nick goes out, does a solo thing, comes back, and like AJ goes and does something, and then Joey McIntyre went and did something, comes back, it kind of brings more back to the band because now you might the Nick and Knight tour, for example. So Nick Carter from the Backstreet Boys, Jordan Knight from New Kids on the Block, they might have actually got new fans that wouldn't necessarily listen to the other person,
perspective, yeah.
and then they
Cross
bring them back
promotion.
to their own bands when they come out, right?
Like I'm just thinking for the up and coming boy bands, like they're gonna stay together for
They
the
must. They
for the
must.
for
you need to
foreseeable
stay
future.
together for a distinct
least-
period of time to get a good
But
fan base
in
before
5
you break
years
up.
from
At
now,
least.
from 5 years from now, if the guys from Pretty Much are feeling like a little bit, oh, I have like this creative outlet that I want to do, but the rest of the guys in the group aren't into it, should they go off and do a solo thing on the side while they're like on break, or would you say try not to unless you're like really established?
From a Mama Lou perspective, let's bring it in here. There is a big risk you take when you become solo. Well, not become solo. You leave. Okay, so Backstreet Boys is like they are like a one of a kind. Like
No, but
you
New
won the
Kids
lottery,
did it too.
but just,
But were
they're
they
so
on a
well
break at that
established.
point?
Oh, I
though?
have so much information
There is-
about New Kids'
Yeah.
solo careers that I did not know before.
Interesting.
And let me tell you, they did it successfully. But, I mean, they did take a big gap in between their careers. So,
okay.
a break from New Kids where this, like, a lot of that happened. But it has been happening since they got back together also.
It's true.
yeah, like I do see your perspective. It does bring new fans to the fandom, and it does let the person create themselves. I mean, express themselves. 'Cause a lot of times when you're in a band, you're kind of in a box a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, you are restricted by like what your label tells you and what your like.
There's 5 opinions instead of just the one
Also
opinion,
true.
right? So
yeah, but I mean, it does. You need to be a well-established band to do that successfully without breaking up. The
I
band.
agree.
I mean, NSYNC, well, they were in it for like 7 years, I think, right? And then that's when like Justin decided to do the whole. And then hey, let's not blame. Lance was gonna go to space, okay?
But that wouldn't have broken up in sync.
What
that
if he
would not.
died in space?
It would have.
What if he died?
Okay, then they would have sold more albums because people sell more albums when
When
people
you die.
die.
Yeah, I
That's a horrible
suppose so.
thing, but
Oh,
yes.
that's
Fair.
actually true.
I agree with you, Lydia.
I was going to say something, but I don't know if it's appropriate to say.
Just say
yes,
it.
Mama
Do
Lou's
you think
interested.
that generally when a boy band member leaves his band to go do something solo, it's because he wants to break off and do solo, and then if it's not as successful, then he's like, oh, at least I have my band to come back
Hell
to.
yeah, you
Yes,
got your
obviously.
Yeah.
you got your tail between your legs. You're like, okay, I
So
left.
do you think that's what happened with Nick? Do you think because
Yes,
his
yeah, totally.
You think Nick would have come back if he was more
I
successful?
like to believe that he would, but
I know because back then it was hard. Backstreet Boys were like almost breaking up at that time too.
They were treating Nick like garbage. Do you remember? I remember the movie when he's
Yeah.
all like, he's like, you guys, you docked my pay when I was late. Like, remember all that stuff? So like,
you have to also remember that Nick considers the Backstreet Boys to be like his family. Like
now,
more so.
now he does, but back then
he also
No.
considers his first album to be his worst, and I highly disagree because I enjoy that
oh,
album
I
a
love
lot.
that
It
album.
was a very good
Okay.
I
album.
kind of agree with Nick on that point.
Let's jump right in then. Let's
Which one
jump
is
right
Nick
in
and Knight?
because
Okay.
for us, the most important solo career. We're super biased, and the most important solo career is that of Nick Carter.
Woo!
So probably based on the fact that we're 10 minutes in and we haven't even started, this episode is going to be probably an all Nick episode.
Yes.
Whatever, it's all good.
I mean, how can you not like him? Come on. Anyways,
Bestie.
we love him to death, so
So
we're
does
gonna
Kenny.
start there.
And so does Kenny.
Really interesting.
Oh yeah, we had the Now or Never in the it was stuck inside of the CD player. So he was
I was
forced
like,
to-
where is the
he was,
CD?
in the car. It was stuck, so he was forced to listen to it. It was
Now or
fabulous.
never, or
No, the I'm taking off.
yeah,
or
I'm
whatever.
taking off.
Burning up. Shit.
Taking
My
off.
pants.
Okay.
Taking off my pants.
Right.
Oh, that was a good time.
It
Okay.
was good times.
So I'm gonna give a quick recap of Nick's solo discography,
Yes.
and then we can jump into our personal opinions about all of that. Okay. So in 2002 he released Now or Never. I agree with what you're saying. That was during a time where there was kind of turmoil within the Backstreet Boys. AJ had gone to rehab.
Yes.
Some of the other guys were no longer sort of they were married and having kids, and they weren't super interested in being in that grind, churn out album after album, tour after tour kind of thing. And Nick was still relatively young in his early 20s, and so he released this album.
I bought
Now
4
or Never.
copies of it.
4?
I did.
Wow.
Good for
did.
you,
It's
buddy.
good. It's a good album.
And then he took quite a long break.
Yes, he did.
Came back in 2011 with I'm Taking Off.
Woo.
My
This
pants.
this is the album that brought this podcast members together.
That is so true. That is where we met Diane at the autograph signing.
Yes.
So
Was that HMV in Toronto?
It was.
Yes, I
and then
remember.
Sophia said, I think that's my friend Diane. And I go, how do you think that's your friend? And she's like, because I've never met her before.
I've only talked to her online.
Yes.
so yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And then, as Shinzia mentioned earlier, in 2014 he teamed up with Jordan Knight from New Kids on the Block, and they released Nick and Knight. And then just 1 year later, in 2015, he released All American.
Oh, that was a good one.
That was a good album. And then he teased us and said he was going to release another album, and then nothing happened.
Well,
so
they were busy.
I feel like what Nick does is that he just man, there's some lull happening right now. Better make an album, go on tour. And we are totally cool with that because, what was it, 2 or 3 merch breaks in a row that we had
Part
concerts.
of the reason we love him.
We're just that's fine. Make an album, come tour Canada. We're good. Come.
I have to be
Like,
perfectly
right now is
honest.
fine.
When he churned out All American a year after Nick and Knight, I was like, what quality could this album possibly be? Yeah. But
in concert, the songs were
I
amazing.
was going to say.
But
The
on
album-
the album, I don't know. But on concert,
No, I enjoyed the album.
top notch in concert.
Did not like the song Sweat on the
I was gonna
album.
say, is that the Suet album?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we're like,
Sweat.
what is this song? And then he performed it in person. And let me tell you,
It was hot.
it was amazing. And we were at our 3rd show and it was Lydia's first. So Sophia's like, Lydia, you need to stand in front of us for this song.
Yes.
Lydia's like, what song? We're like, Sweat. She's like, ugh, I hate that song. We're like, no. And then literally he started dancing and Lydia's face was like, what is happening?
Spotlight on her.
Yeah.
Tingle in the Vingle.
Oh man, the tingle was in the Vingle that night. Let me tell you, I felt like I was at a Magic Mike show. I was like, girl, what is going on in this? I thought I was at a concert. So it was beautiful. Oh my god, I was like, that is burned in my memory. I'm like, So,
Yeah.
yes.
that tour was so good
That was so fun.
that when he did his all Canadian leg, yours truly turned into a complete psycho and went to 5 shows in 5 nights.
She did.
And
And she worked during the day.
And I worked
Yes.
during the day and then would go to the concerts at night. It's not like, I took a vacation. No. Worked during the day, would go to the concerts at night. I swear to God, I was sleeping 3 and 4 hours a night and just this is fine.
Sophia and I sadly missed the last 2 because we went to the train wreck of a Rewind Con. But so
Yeah.
we definitely had
That podcast for
FOMO.
another
Even though we had gone to the first 3 of that, the last 2 were like, why are we at the concert now? We're surrounded by all these other boy bands, but Nick's
the best
not here.
tour ever.
Yes.
Yes.
But okay,
Is that the one
so-
I went to Nashville for?
No. Yes,
Yes, it
Yes.
is. Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, it is.
It is
I don't
All
know.
American because I remember the merch.
you were alone.
Yes, I was.
That's where you met him.
That's right.
For Easter.
The
So
hat.
that's where I met our friend Amanda in Nashville. She's from Toronto area. So yes,
We only ever see her
we
not in Toronto.
in the
Not in
States.
Toronto.
But yes, no, that was where Nick tweeted. I'm like, I don't know, should I go to this? And he's like, yes, you should. I'm like, okay, Greyhound bus. Don't take a Greyhound bus, people.
Don't do it.
It's horrible. 18 hours of your life
if Nick
each
tells
way
you,
you're not
don't
getting
go.
back. But it was beautiful. Anyways, back to the albums.
So yes, just speaking of, like, let's take the albums as a whole. How would you rank these 4 albums personally?
Okay, can you just quickly refresh? I don't remember the middle one.
Okay.
Which middle one?
Taking
off?
That's not how it goes.
That's
Oh,
Burning
shoot,
Up.
that's
A Burning Up,
no.
which is a great song.
In
But
the
that-
car. That's a car song.
But that is on that album.
Is it? Okay.
Yes. And
I'm taking off tour. He was very spaceman-like.
Yeah,
that
the
was like the
astronaut
hilarious
suit.
tour. We were like laughing so
That's
hard.
when Shinzia told him it looked like he shit his pants.
Yes, I was gonna say.
you
crapped
remember
his
that.
Grabbed
pants.
his pants.
Okay, do you want me to just do like a quick, like, these are the songs on the albums?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Now or Never is the first one. It had Help Me, which
Oh, I love that one. That
I was
like
going through a
teenage-
tough time, man, and I felt that song really helps
teenage
me.
Angst going on.
Yes.
Beautiful.
My Confession,
Yeah, it was alright.
I Stand For You.
That was
Do I Have to Cry For You?
alright. Oh yeah, that video was okay. That was
He
a-
remixed it and
that was a
redid
sample
like a
one.
different version on the I'm Taking Off tour, and it was like amaze balls.
I agree with that.
Girls in the USA,
Eh.
I Got You.
That-
I like that one.
Arguably his best song ever.
Yeah.
Is it Saturday yet?
'Cause I wanna get-
It was okay.
Blow Your Mind.
That's a good one too.
Oh, that was a
That's
second
how he opened.
That was
the
with Max
All-American
Martin.
tour.
Mm. Yes.
That one was
Miss
also hot.
America. Meh.
Eh.
I feel like we need some Miss Canada stuff here. Let's
Come
get
on,
Canada in
change
here.
the lyrics. What's going on?
I Just Want to Take You Home, which Lydia made an anime music video for.
Yes, I did, and I won an award for that.
You did. It was good.
What?
It's a good
Lydia?
video. We'll post the video. Is it still on YouTube?
No, got taken down, copyright claim.
Ah, man.
know.
Okay, anyways, it
But
was a good
like-
video.
Well, whatever. We can discuss
Heart
that
Without
later.
a Home
That was alright.
and Who Needs the World.
Yeah.
I need the world when I got you.
So that one was a pretty good album.
That was a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it had some good
That was
bangers.
okay.
Is that what the kids use these days?
Yeah,
bangers?
yeah.
All right, so I'm taking off. Okay, the My Pants thing is because we were bored waiting in line for this autograph signing, and I had a Sharpie and I wrote My Pants on it. So then there was some dollar bills involved. Anyway, so I was trying to get Nick to sign it, and I was just like, hey, it was just really funny. And I was like, hey, I got a special edition of
be
your
there.
CD. he's like, my pants. And it was just like really funny moment. Anyways.
And miraculously, I still decided to converse with these
I
people
know,
after
like
this
honestly,
day.
I don't know why
Legit.
Diane wanted to hang out with us afterwards because we're nuts. But anyways, Burning Up, which is
Woo,
a
great
great
song.
song that helps us stay awake while we're driving at night. Not the Other Guy. I don't know if
I'm not the other guy.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that's a good song too.
So Far Away, Addicted, Special, Falling
Special,
Down.
yeah.
Falling Down is the
Falling
Leslie
Down
one.
is- yeah, the,
The
sad
sad
one.
one.
Oh.
Just One Kiss, which is this the one? That,
Just one kiss, yeah.
yes. So that's so there's that one.
What do you mean this is the
We'll
one?
we'll loop back to these stories after.
Who's that story?
Great Divide, Nothing Left to Lose, Falling in Love Again, and I'm Taking Off. Gotta say,
And then there was like all these like bonus tracks, but they were all different
Different
depending
countries.
on which
Oh, how
country
nice.
you were
so
in.
like Japan got 5 of them, Germany got
Japan
2,
loves BSB
America got
I know.
2, and Canada got Love Can't Wait.
Yeah.
That's
That's
it.
the one that we were like, play
So
this
this song came out and was with Sean Desmond, who is Canadian. And Sean Desmond opened for Nick at the Mississauga show. So we're like, okay, great. This song just came out. They had like a little video for it. We're like, clearly they're going to play this song. They did not play the song. And we're like, the heck? He's here. Like, what's going on? So we're like, okay, whatever. So then the Belleville show, we're like, hey, buddy, can you play that song? Oh, I didn't think you guys would want to hear it. We're like, this is a Canadian tour and it's your Canadian song. And then he did it. And then he didn't play it in Montreal, but the radio station hyped it before the concert. It's like, oh, his new single on the radio, blah, blah, blah. And then after the show was over, everybody was expecting an encore and it wasn't. And we're just like trapped. We're like, guys, this is not happening. He's not playing it. They're like,
People
how
got
do you
so
know? We're like,
mad.
this is literally the 3rd time we've seen this show. It's not coming out. And then people like kind of revolted. And then eventually they turn on the lights and force everybody out. But we're like, just play the damn song, dude.
Seriously, he still hasn't.
Yes. So that was that album. Sorry. And then the third album is the Nick and Knight one.
I have no knowledge of this one.
This is the Mops and Dongs.
Not sure, yeah.
Oh God, so many stories. We'll loop back. Tell her
Okay,
the song.
so one more time. Nobody Better. Switch. Oh, that was with Bruno Mars.
What?
Bruno Mars wrote Switch.
What?
Why is the song terrible? Then no offense.
Oh.
Because Bruno Mars wrote
No.
Drive My Car.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Maybe you can jam.
Take Me
It's
Home.
very like 80s sounding.
Oh, is it okay?
Deja Vu. That one's pretty good. If You Want It. Paper,
My fave.
which I hate, and these two are like, this is the best song in
It's
the
a pretty good
world.
song.
There was this like demonic man at one point, like
You can buy a heart if it's made
of paper. I'm like,
you can buy a heart. It's
so
It's a good one.
stupid. So stupid. Just the two of us,
meh.
and Halfway There.
Okay.
So
This
that
was
is
at the
that
HMV
album.
CD
Not
signing
that
where
kind of
Diane
Halfway There.
and I were like,
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
wasn't this at the HMV CD signing where you and I were like, oh, I think we like maybe 4 songs from this album?
I believe I said 2.5.
Okay.
Oh my
Yeah,
God, the
that's even
CD
worse.
signing. That was the best. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry,
We'll
moving
loop
back.
after.
And then for All American, the songs were
I remember this album.
So we don't need to do a track listing?
Yes,
Yes,
we
no,
do.
we do, yes.
Okay.
19 and 99.
That's a
see.
good song.
Amazing. Love it. Love the video. Get Over Me with Avril Lavigne.
Oh, this is one of my
Love
Get
that
Over
song.
Me.
Oh my God, I love that song.
California. That's
remember that
California.
Oh, is that the vegan girlfriend one?
Quinoa, yes.
Quinoa.
Yes.
And
And then I tweeted him a picture of quinoa once, and then he wrote a laughing emoji back.
Aw.
So, yes, it's a good time. It was chocolate covered quinoa. Second Wind.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my second
wind.
Banana.
Okay, yes, I remember.
Suet.
Suet. It sounds like suet. Like
He does say it like,
So weird.
and he spells it SWET for some reason. I don't know.
he's so cute, though.
Cherry pie, which
Oy.
on
Cherry
Pie Day
pies
we
is
made a little. Did you know in the States at McDonald's they have cherry pies instead of
Know that
apple?
cherry pie is.
Yes.
Something else.
Yes, they kind of allude to that in the song there.
Oh,
my.
Jesus.
It's a very dirty song. Tijuana, which is also fun.
That's a good
That's
one.
a good one, yeah.
Let my girl
In Tijuana. We made a sign that said, "You left me in Tijuana." He's like, "Oh my God, you guys come from Tijuana?" And then he looked and he saw it was us, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
Never
You
mind.
guys are
It's
funny.
you.
It was really funny.
It was pretty funny.
All American.
She's got a booty that's
All
American, like Kim Kardashian. Okay, sorry.
Man on the Moon, which was very like. Doo.
That's very like 1950s. Like
I feel like Truman Show when I hear that.
Yeah.
Horoscope.
Mm-hmm.
Horoscope's pretty
I
good.
don't remember that song.
I don't want horoscope. I don't know. No,
I don't
it's about
remember
this.
it right now either.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, I don't know.
It, you know the
Okay,
song.
okay.
You know it.
And then I Will Wait, which he said was for us. Was that the one for the fan, or was that the Lauren one? I can't
Was it
remember.
He
like
kind of
song,
said a
the
few
sad one?
things about that one.
Yes, very slow, sad. He performed it on Dancing with the
I
Stars.
will wait for you. Do 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 do. Love
Yeah,
was
he said,
made
yeah,
for
he said it was
two.
for Lauren, and then he said it was for fans, and I was like,
He
yeah,
likes to
you're
change
just
his
making
mind.
Whoever
all
he
things
just
up.
whoever wants to accept this song in their life, go for it.
I will accept.
And then obviously Japan also got extras as they usually do.
They love him more apparently.
Okay, so based on that, so again, Now or Never,
Yeah.
I'm taking off Nick and Knight and All American.
Oh wow.
Rank them.
Oh, the last one is number 1 for
All
sure.
American is number 1.
Damn.
Okay.
And then number 2 was his very first one.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna go the Nick at Night, and then the last one.
And then I'm taking off.
Yeah.
That had okay.
That's my person.
Mine is I'm Taking Off, Now or Never, All American, Nick and Knight.
I'm gonna go Now or Never, All American. I'm taking off Nick and Knight.
Mine's the same as Sophia's.
Oh.
Mm.
Very good.
Which, it's funny because I feel like there's like two distinct group of like Nick fans, where like there's Nick fans who are like fall more in a category where they like rock music because Nick sort of tends to sing, like more of his albums kind of go in that direction. And then there's like a group of Nick fans who are like, nah, I don't really care too much for rock music. And those people tend to like I'm Taking Off more than the other ones.
Mm.
I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I would agree.
I
with
also
that.
have to say that I lost my I'm Taking Off CD, so I feel like I have not listened to it
How?
as
You have
much.
4.
No, I have
No,
4
no,
Now
she
or
has
Nevers.
4 Now or Nevers.
But we went to so many concerts.
Oh, I
and
do
so
have a
many
couple of
things.
them. I don't know. I feel like I haven't listened to that one as much as the other ones.
Maybe
you
you
have
should
that
buy
one
some
signed,
digital
bro?
songs,
I
old
do have
man.
it signed. I don't know where the CD is, but I
Oh,
have
the
the
CD. Oh, God.
The outside of it is
God,
signed.
okay,
Yes.
God.
Maybe it's stuck in Lydia's car.
You know what? It probably is. It
I
probably
tended to
is.
steal your CDs. I'm sorry.
Oh, stealer.
Okay, so we were going to loop back to a few things. Now or Never, like, back to what you were saying originally about that one. I was like 18 in 2003, and I feel like it came out sort of late 2002. I remember, like, it was warm, but it wasn't like summer.
I believe it was October.
Sure.
I also believe that, but I'm not 100% sure.
Listen, the internet only gives year dates, and my memory is not that good.
October 28th, 2002.
There
you go.
Thank you,
Fancy.
Wikipedia.
Um,
I bought it at Future Shop, which is no longer in business.
amazing.
Okay.
Anyways,
I was gonna say something about age.
Oh, burn. Ooh.
I don't
Did
know.
you see-
we're
Continue
the
on.
same age.
No.
The Three
No.
Stooges over here are all born in 1985, and I'm born in 82. So,
Oh, about
whoa.
Chinzia's age.
Excuse me, the 3-year difference.
Grandpa over
She's
here who doesn't buy
practically
digital
geriatric. Anyways,
Suck it.
um,
Sorry.
Anyways.
Whose studio is this?
songs. Okay.
so anyways, I remember like the greatest thing in my life was that. So he went on tour to support this album, and he was in Toronto on my 18th birthday, and I was just like, oh my
Perfect.
God, he knew it. Like,
Yes. He's like,
he
it's like,
totally
when
knew
is
it,
Diane's birthday? Here it is. Let's go.
I had never met him at this point, but I was just like, our connection, he knew.
Aw.
I was a psycho back then, let's be honest.
Back then, eh?
Oh boy.
Wow.
Let's turn
Is
into a Backstreet roast.
Is this like, the episode where we just like shit on each other?
Oh, man.
Anyways, okay, I'm taking off. Like I said, this is the album like where we met. Yeah, there was a Just One Kiss thing where Chinzia changed the lyrics
Yes, she
to
did.
be just one something else.
Oh.
F, I believe.
It was at...
That doesn't rhyme.
Okay, listen, this is what
Do this
happened.
story.
I feel like I've told this story, but I'll tell it again. So we were in Belleville, which is, and he was doing a
was
show.
special.
It was between Mississauga and Montreal
Why you would choose Belleville is beyond.
because it's halfway between
Yeah,
Mississauga
I feel
and
like we
Montreal.
have told this story before.
And he's like, so this one girl's like, hey, Nick, like in honor of your new song, Just One Kiss, can I have just one kiss? And he's like, no, sorry. This one girl
Just one
was
hug.
the kiss first, the hug. Hug was first.
Yeah.
Hug was first. So then she's like, can I have a hug? And she's like, I know I'm going to meet you in a minute, but can I have a hug? And he's like, yeah, sure, of course. He gives her a hug. And then the next girl goes, Nick, in honor of your new song, Just One Kiss, can I have just one kiss? And then he hesitates for like a second. He's like, okay, sure, but it's going to be on your cheek. And she's like, that's fine. So she gives a hug. So then I turn to Sophia and say, oh, if we just need to ask, maybe I could just ask for just one F. And then we started laughing, and then I started snorting, and then it was just like,
And he's like, who's snorting in the audience?
yes, pretty much. And then
There was
yes.
also a really awkward thing where, so we mentioned that he has a song on there called Falling Down, which is like he wrote the song prior to his sister Leslie's death, but then she died when he was on tour for the album, and song sort of just like became about her. And so people always get really emotional when he sings that song, and like he tends to get very emotional. But at the very first Nick lunch that we went to, which was actually on the Nick and Night tour, he was doing like a Q&A, and then he would sing a song and then do a few more questions. Anyways, he was talking about how some football player had replied to him on Twitter, and he was like, oh, now I understand how you guys feel when I like follow you back. He's like, I follow everyone here, right? Everybody's like, no. And he's like, well, how have I not followed all of you? And we're like, you have hardly followed anyone, buddy, at that time.
That was true. Yes. He didn't even follow us on that tour. That was
And
later.
then this girl's like, you should follow me because I've been a fan for 20 years. And then this other girl's like, you should follow me because I've been a fan for 21 years or something like that, right? So then Cynthia turns to me for a joke, and she's like, I've been a fan for 100 years. And I'm like, oh, I've been a fan for 500 years. And she's like, I'm a vampire. I've been a fan for 5,000 years.
1,000 years! And we are killing ourselves laughing because we're having our own conversation. Meanwhile, Nick is now starting this song.
He's now singing I'm Falling Down.
Oh, no.
People in the audience
are
are crying because they're sad. And Chinzi and I are in the back crying because we're laughing
And we're
so
just like, oh my God,
hard.
we have to stop laughing. And we're like, ah. Yeah, it was great. Because Sophia was sitting somewhere else.
I was on in the front area.
And then Nick's like, oh, I need water. And then I was like, here. And Sophia was sitting beside his water but couldn't find it. And I was like, here, Nick, have mine. And he's like it wasn't open. I'm like, it's not open. It's not poisoned. And I was like, what? And Diane's like, why would you need to preface the fact it's not poison? I was like, I don't know. It just came out of my mouth.
Why would it be poison? Yeah.
Yeah. So.
And then, like, quickly, the Nick and Knight thing. So they sort of did what Backstreet Boys did with this DNA album, where they released a couple of songs ahead of the release of the album just to sort of like hype it up. And so then I remember, I think it was it. What's the? It
Are
takes
we talking
two?
the Mops and Dong thing?
Yes.
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 Okay. Yes.
The song's called
I
"It
think
Takes
so-
Two"
I think
or
so.
two, just the two of us. or
Just the
something.
two of us. Yes.
Yeah. And I made some private comments in our group chat about how the song sounded quite homosexual.
Just the title of it, though, or whatever.
And then I went to write, I can't wait till we see them perform this song on stage, but the phone autocorrected song to dong. And then I was like, that too. And then later, so like a couple of weeks later, Nick's like, oh, I can't wait to see you guys all on the Nick and Knight tour. He tweets this out. He's like, it's going to be so hot. It's going to be like hot chocolate on a strawberry. Now, what he meant to say was like melted chocolate.
like chocolate covered strawberries.
But here's me picturing him like pouring a cup of hot chocolate on strawberries. And then we're like, oh, then they're going to like do some mop choreography, like mopping up the stage. So then it turned into the Mops and Dogs tour.
So then I made a T-shirt for it that said Mops and Dogs.
Wait. So then they were like, oh, let's promote our album. Here's some random, like, here's the album cover, and you can, like, insert yourself in the background so you can have a picture with Nick and Jordan. So I'm like, how can I put a picture of a penis here without getting banned from this website? So, a couple of New Year's Eves before this, Chinzi and I had taken a picture with a giant salami because
I took this picture.
My dad was like, here's a salami for your party. We're like, okay. It was like massive.
it was comically large.
It was,
So we took a picture with this giant salami. So I put the picture of us with a giant salami in between Nick and Jordan. So we made T-shirts and posters with this picture and changed the title of the album to Mops and Dogs 2015.
And then the best part is that we're at this autograph signing and like these reporters are there, like, you know, taking pictures and stuff. And like, I think it was CTV or somebody, one of the news people
CTV.
were there. And they're like, oh, this loser made their own T-shirt. So she like was videotaping me with my shirt and I'm like, woo! And it said Mops and Dogs and it got on TV.
It was literally on the 6 o'clock news.
It was amazing. It was so funny. Oh my God. Oh man.
Oh,
Good
memories.
times, man.
These solo tours, I guess, are good after all.
And honestly, solo tours are really good because that's where we actually see Nick more and he interacts
Oh
more.
my God, we got
than,
so
like,
much. Yeah.
So much love.
And like All American, like we've told a bunch of the stories before, but like best tour ever. Like
That was a great tour.
Some of the things that happened on that tour, I still can't believe actually happened. Like it's the stuff of like when I was 14, I could only dream that this shit would happen.
Is that when you played Uno with Nick? Was that during
No,
the
that was
tour?
at a con.
That was a con.
That was
But
after.
like the day, like oh God, like he walked out of the crowd off the stage at one point into the crowd to give us the set list that he had
Oh my
signed.
God, yes.
That was good.
That
Yeah.
was
Like,
great.
and I was like, that really happened in real
Oh my
life.
God, yes. And
Like
they had
Nick
those.
actually saw us at a concert and was like, you, and like walked, like, this is the stuff when you're 14, you're like, I think he waved at me. Like, no, this
he
is
literally
not icing.
stopped.
It's like fan fiction in motion.
I kid you not. And all these people were in the crowd. And then he said to the girl behind us, no,
It's not for you.
it's for them. And then gave us the...
like, oh my God.
I was just like, what just happened? Like, this was like the most amazing. And then that's when he was also on the social and he did a lot of other stuff.
Yes, that was good.
It was a good day.
Such a good day.
That was good
Anyways,
times.
So many good things.
we should probably wrap up because we could go on and on about Nick forever.
Forever.
I promise next week we're going to get to all the rest of the Backstreet Boys. And down the line in future weeks, we'll get to all the other boy bands as well. So thank you so much for taking a break with us, guys.
Until next time.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.